delighted and surprised, and I think, like, I've been nominated for a few awards before now, and the key for me is just not to expect anything, just to be delighted that the nice thing happened and that your book gets to hang out with the other cool books. For me, writing is like being hungry for story and also trying to make sense of the world around you, which I think are very human things. I think we do love stories. The world around us is big and confusing, and at the moment, like, particularly kind of harrowing. You know, we do tell ourselves parables, we give ourselves narratives. You know, some people turn to tarot cards or different holistic things to kind of, you know, for that, like, that spiritual place that helps us to feel like there's a sense to us being here. And writing is that for me. It's nourishing. I think if you love something, you just make time for it. Sometimes if I have a deadline, I'll set a stopwatch for half an hour and say I'm going to do half an hour. You can do anything for half an hour. Like, you can sit down even if your brain is kind of completely full of other stuff. And once you've focused on writing for half an hour, you generally go longer. Like, once you've kind of given yourself that space, turned off the internet and just sat down with you and your story, like, it becomes easy. But it's the act of sitting down and deciding to do it. That's the hurdle, and not procrastinating. I wanted to visit the internal lives of the women in fairy tales, because there are a lot of stories out there where the woman is the hero, or, you know, kind of, but they're not the known fairy tales. Do you know, there are a lot of ingenious women in folklore, but yet you get the Disneyfied versions where a woman is ultimately a prize for a man. I wanted to give voice to kind of some of the misgivings that the women kind of nearly trapped by the fairy tale story would feel, and I wanted to kind of use the framework of familiar stories to discuss issues that do happen in the world, like right now, like, you know, kind of forced marriage, body image, and just being seen as a thing, as a prize, rather than as a human being with agency. I suppose not to be afraid to make time for it, because if it's important, and if you've decided that this is an important achievement that you want to have, or even, like, not so much an achievement, but like a process that you want to undergo or a thing you want to make, it matters and it is deserving of your time. With women, like, I mean, there's so much kind of emotional labour and household labour and childcare, like all of those kind of little domestic things that people feel guilty about neglecting, but you're not necessarily neglecting them by making space for something else.